This is Michael Woodward, and this is Season 2, Episode 104 of the Jumblethink Podcast.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Jumblethink Podcast, where we interview amazing people who have turned their dreams and ideas into reality. Along the way, we will share some tips on how you can turn your own ideas and dreams into reality too. If you are new to the Jumblethink Podcast, or you've been listening to it for a long time and haven't subscribed, go to wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe to the Jumblethink Podcast. While you're there, make sure to leave us a rating and review and let others know what you think of the podcast too. Now let's jump into today's episode. Hey there, welcome to the Jumblethink Podcast. My name is Michael Woodward. I am your host. We have a really fun episode lined up for you today. We're going to talk about innovation strategies and how you can create one. Before we jump into today's topic, we want to take a moment and thank our friends who are sponsoring this podcast, Mighty Travels, Opportunity in China, and Floxy. Here's a little bit more about our friends over at Mighty Travels. One of my favorite things to do is to travel, but often I am spending hours, maybe even days, looking through travel searches for the right airfare. Our friends over at Mighty Travels make it so much easier. You can go in, set your desired location when you want to go, and get notifications sent to you via email and text message so that you can grab those special deals when they're there. If you want to save money, up to even like $190 per ticket, Mighty Travels is the place to check out. So swing on over to mightytravels.com/jumblethink to learn more about how you can access some great notifications to get the best fares for your trip. Again, that's mightytravels.com/jumblethink. Go on over, check them out, and start saving on your trips. We also want to thank our friends over at Floxy for sponsoring today's episode. Here is a little bit more about them. Being a small business owner or an entrepreneur can be hard. If you're like me, your own projects are often the last ones you do. This leaves you without the graphics, website, or copy you need to effectively promote your business and tell your story. Now, what if I told you that there was a better way? Our friends over at Floxy can help you with on-demand, unlimited graphic design, web development, and copywriting with plans starting at a flat rate of $349 per month with no hidden fees. Oh, and their plans are also month-to-month with a 7-day money-back guarantee for all new accounts. All this can be done with a 24-hour turnaround for most projects and revisions. So check them out at floxy.com. That's Floxy, FLOCKSY.com. Let them know that Jumblethink sent you. We'd also like to thank our good friends over at OpportunityInChina.com for sponsoring today's episode. Here's a little bit more about them. Have you been looking for a way to change your career or social prospects? Do you see the world around you changing and haven't quite figured out what path you should take? You are not alone in seeking opportunity. Visit OpportunityInChina.com for access to scholarships to attend university in China, or if you have a bachelor's degree already, OpportunityInChina.com provides access to jobs in the educational sector all across China. Now, working in China is not only often well paid, but it will place you among 1/5 of the world's population, boosting your social network, bringing you more deeply into the story of globalization, and opening doors you never knew existed. Seize your opportunity now. Visit their website for more information at OpportunityInChina.com. By the way, they have a killer podcast. Simply search for Opportunity in China podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Once again, thank you so much to Opportunity in China, Floxy, and Mighty Travels for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure you check out what they're doing and how they can serve you with your needs. Today on the podcast, we are talking about innovation strategies, what in the world that means, how you can create your own innovation strategy, and how that will actually help you in turning dreams and ideas into reality. When we do these types of episodes, we always like to start out by defining what in the world we're talking about. And innovation strategies, while it sounds really cool, also sounds kind of mystical to a lot of people. Let's define that. All right, so the first word is innovation, and that can be defined as the action or process of innovating, the creation of a new method, idea, or product. But in that word innovation, we're always using that word, the process of innovating. So what is innovating? Well, to innovate is to make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. To introduce something new, especially a product. All right, so that's innovation. What is a strategy? A strategy is a plan of action or policy designed to achieve a major or overall aim. So you're shooting for a goal, and this is the roadmap to get you there. It's the art of planning and directing overall operations and movements towards an end result. All right, so we've defined the words in the literal sense of breaking them down by definition from what we see online and in Webster's or wherever you like to look up for your definitions. But how do we apply that in a world of business or in the world of idea formation, dreaming? I love this definition. An innovation strategy is a plan to grow market share or profits through products and services that you're innovating. When it comes to creating the solution, an innovation strategy must also indicate whether a product is a product improvement, a disruptive product, or a breakthrough innovation with a new best approach. And I know some of you are listening right now going, all right, that sounds cool, but I don't know if I have a product or service. I just have an idea. And you don't know where to go in this, and you just go, this seems so complex. Well, we're going to make it simple in today's episode. One of the great resources out there is HBR, Harvard Business Review. I was reading through some articles about today's topic, and I wanted to kind of see what they thought about it. Here's a little segment of one of their articles about why you need an innovation strategy. They say a strategy is nothing more than a commitment to a set of coherent, mutually reinforcing policies or behaviors aimed at achieving a specific competitive goal. All right, so if you have an idea and dream, we're going to pause right there and break that down. You literally are doing that. You're saying, okay, my dream and idea is to reach X. I want to start that winery I've always wanted to start. I want to write that book that I've always wanted to write. I have this idea for a new technology for tiny homes. Well, whatever that idea and dream is, all you're doing here is setting a commitment to a set of coherent policies and behaviors that are aiming to reach that goal. And having those steps to get from point A to point Z through the process is going to have many pivots and changes, but having the goal, having the strategy to reinforce that goal is how you innovate an idea or dream. They go on to say, good strategies promote alignment along diverse groups within an organization, clarify objectives and priorities, and help focus efforts around them. So what they're saying is, it helps bring people together, whether they're inside the organization, whether they're customers. They clarify the goals that you have and the priorities within those goals, and it helps you focus around them. So it brings a common thought process to everyone in this process of idea formation, dream chasing. You can do this at a small scale. You can do this in a large corporation scale, and the process is going to look a little different there, but it is going to help you to have that universal vision for the dream and idea you have, so you can share it with your friends, your family, your coworkers, the team you work on, the company that you run. Whatever that is, you're going to be able to communicate that vision and gather this group of people from diverse spaces within the goal and dreams you have together. Now, innovation strategies can be broken into two segments overall. The first one is a new venture, a new idea, a new dream, in which it's all fresh. You're starting from the ground up and you're building on that. The second camp is those who already have a product and service, and they're innovating on that product and service and growing that. They're going somewhere new with the product and service. They're adding products, features, or functionality to what they're doing, or maybe even expanding the offerings of the services they offer. So in camp one, there is a new business, a new idea, a new concept that's evolving and growing. This new idea and dream can be broken into two other segments. Segment one of this new model, this new idea, this new dream is the disruptive segment. And in the disruptive segment, you can see rapid changes to the way things are being done. They are saying, hey, you've always done it this way. Our product and service completely reinvents it, completely changes it. It's a new way of doing things. A great example of this would be taxis and limos versus Uber and ride sharing. It is a disruptive change with an idea and dream that said, you know what, taxis and limos, they're great, but they're expensive. You can't always find them. What if we make it easy for you to book your trip and everything like that? And so Lyft and Uber came along and said, hey, we're going to disrupt this space with a new idea of how we can do this better. And the second segment of the new model, the new idea, the new dream segment would be architectural. And these are saying, we're going to take an established route and we're going to build upon that. So it's not so much we're disrupting the status quo in that we're building on what's already been there. So an example of that would be if you were Kodak or Polaroid or something like that, and you were building a company that was doing photography. You're building cameras, you're building film, you're creating the film paper to actually print the photos on, and you're doing that, and a company comes along and says, this is great, we're going to iterate on this, we're going to use that architecture that's already there, and we're going to move from film into digital. Now, all the methods, the tools are pretty much the same. You, instead of a film camera, you're having a digital camera. Instead of a traditional method of exposing your film and doing all of that, we're going to then print it with a digital printer. And so it's building on what's already there and leveraging what's there. So it's an innovation. It is a new idea and dream to say, what if we change this from film to digital? But instead of being disruptive to say, hey, we're changing the entire game, it's just building upon the architecture that's already there. So the second segment of innovation strategies falls into existing businesses, existing ideas and dreams in which you're going, this is good, but maybe we can evolve this to better. So it's an evolution process within the strategies that you have. So there are two camps again in the existing model, the existing business, existing dream, existing idea. Those fall into routine. Basically, these are products and services you always have, and you're every year or every 2 years or every 6 months, whatever it is, you're launching a new version of your current version. Now, this could be a tech version. So you have a startup and you have a great product. It is a photo sharing app. And now what you're doing is you're taking version 1, the alpha version, you're launching the beta version. Now you're in full production. And so you're using that strategy of going from one thing to another. Another example of this would be automotive, where you have a specific model car and every year you release a new version, and there may be new features or functionality, a better engine, a different radio, a user interaction where you can turn in automation, automated driving. So that then builds on everything that you do. And these are routine innovations. And so they're going to happen every year. They're going to happen every 6 months or whatever it is. Another example of that would be operating systems on your computer. They are routinely updated. And so in that innovation strategy, you know that every October or every January, there's a new update coming out for your software. And so that's another great example of existing businesses, existing ideas and dreams having a routine evolution of their process. And then there's also within the existing business model, existing idea and dream model is radical evolution, which is to say we're going to continue doing what we're doing as a business. Maybe you're in a specific sector, you're a tech startup, you're a marketing agency, you're a whatever it is, but you have new technologies that are coming onto the market that you need to integrate into your business. In this strategy for innovation, while you are an existing business, while your model is already in place, while you already have that dream and idea formation happening, There are new things that require a pivot and shift within your business. It could be a new technology, a new concept, a new approach to that. So an example of that would be in the telecommunication space. So we go from landlines to cell phones. That is a new technology that replaces an old technology, but a lot of the philosophies carry over. Or cable to fiber optic. It's, again, the same service, the same thing that you're offering, the same product, but now it's a new technology that forces the change. So these radical changes are not a change of the product or service itself necessarily, but the backbone behind it, the thing that keeps it thriving and surviving. It's a pivot, but what you're offering to the end consumer, the end customer, your clients, it in itself doesn't change. Another example of this would be for me, when I was running my digital agency, when we were doing web development and application development, we went through many steps of this radical innovation. Step number one was we went from Ruby on Rails, which is a specific coding language, to Drupal. We went from Drupal to WordPress. And we still continue to do some of those old things, but it's a radical change to the philosophies because they use underlying technologies that are different than what we offered before. The end customer is still getting the same kind of product, but how we do it, how we approach the problem, how we solve the problem internally is different. And then from WordPress, we've moved into a lot more Squarespace design and development. And that innovation internally in our business allows us to offer better products and services, keep with the same DNA of solving the same kind of problems for our customers, but using that new technology as the backbone of the innovation and the strategy that we're using as a team. So we have those two main camps, the new idea, the new concept, the new dream, and we have the second camp, which is the existing idea, the existing dream that you're evolving and changing and doing that. But there's also another level of innovation strategy, which is micro or macro innovation, which says, can this be broken down into small changes to grow and change this idea? Or is this a big revolutionary change that happens in one fell swoop? No matter if you are macro evolving or micro evolving, if your innovation strategy isn't clear and your goals to get there aren't clear, then you can't really accomplish the goal because you're going to be stuck. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be feeling just uncertain about the changes and growth you need to make. So I'm not a big fan personally of massive innovation all at once. I'm a big fan, as you know, from the Dreamer's Guide to Micro Experiments, is micro experiments, whether it's a new dream or an existing dream, to use those to pivot and grow rapidly. So I still want the rapid growth. I still want the big picture vision to the end, but I want to make minor steps, small steps that rapidly happen to get us to an end solution. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the Dreamer's Guide. You can check it out at jumblethink.com/guides, and that's completely free. So go check that out. That will help you understand our philosophy about innovation at what speed you go and macro versus micro a little bit further. All right, so we've talked about the different kinds of innovation strategies from a very high-level standpoint. We've defined what innovation strategies are. But now what do? How do you create your own innovation strategy? Well, in a moment, I'll be right back to go a little bit deeper and talk about creating your own innovation strategy. I want to take a moment to thank the sponsors for today's episode, Opportunity in China, Floxy, and Mighty Travels. Their sponsorship of our podcast allows us to take the podcast to the next level and innovate in our own ways to grow what we're doing. So here's a little bit more about our friends over at Mighty Travels. I don't know about you, but I love to travel. I just don't like looking through all the websites to find the right fares to the right locations that I want to travel to. Well, our friends over at mightytravels.com are helping you get better rates to the places you want to travel, often saving up to $190 per ticket. You should check out mightytravels.com/jumblethink to learn more about how you can use their service to get the right trips booked for you at incredible rates. So swing on over, check it out, mightytravels.com/jumblethink. We also want to thank our friends over at Floxy for sponsoring today's episode. Here's a little bit more about them. You have a killer idea for the perfect graphic or website, but you feel stuck and overwhelmed by the cost and skills it takes to create those ideas. Maybe you lack the time you need to create them. No matter the obstacle, it's time to get that idea created. And our friends over at Floxy can help you create those killer graphics, the perfect website, or even create the copy that's used on your next ad, all at a low cost, starting at $349 per month. Their on-demand, unlimited graphic design, web, and copywriting are backed by a 7-day money-back guarantee for all new accounts. And you'll be working with a dedicated US-based project manager assigned to your account. There are no hidden fees, and billing is month to month. So check them out for your next project and for the project after that too. You can find them at floxy.com, FLOCKSY.com. Let them know that Jumblethink sent you. We also want to thank our friends over at OpportunityInChina.com for sponsoring today's episode.
At the dawn of the 19th century, forward-thinking people moved to the commercial centers of Europe. Moving into the 20th century, America welcomed millions into the land of freedom and opportunity. It is now the 21st century. Many of the successes and fortunes of our generations will be made in China. To learn how you can seize opportunity in China, follow the Opportunity in China podcast. The Opportunity in China podcast is available anywhere podcasts are streamed, or you can visit our website at opportunityinchina.com.
Make sure to check out what all of these great companies are doing. Their support of our podcast is great, and we appreciate your support of what they're building too. Now let's jump back into today's episode all about innovation strategies. All right, we are back and talking more about innovation strategies. We've defined innovation strategies. We've talked about different kinds of overarching innovation strategies, but what do you do to create your own innovation strategy? Now, first off, I want to say that I wish there was some magical book that I could point you to and say, this is the cure for innovation strategies for you. This is how you're going to take that idea and dream and make it a reality. Now, I can teach you principles. I can teach you different concepts. But in the end, that strategy has to be curated for you. It has to be unique to you. So let's talk a little bit about how you can begin to create an innovation strategy that's right for you as an individual, right for your dream and idea. If you have a team, it's right for your team around you, and how it will foster the right community, the right culture to allow you to innovate and take those dreams and ideas and make them a reality. Number one, you need to create vision. And we break vision into two areas. Vision is for your company, the overarching entity, but at the innovation level, what is the vision for the innovation you have? If you are starting a new product and service, what is the vision of where this is going? There's an old saying that says, without vision, people perish. So I want you to think about, what is the vision? It needs to not only be very analytical from the standpoint of we want to create X, Y, and Z, but then you need to begin to craft that idea and dream into a story that inspires. It inspires you to keep on going. It inspires others to become part of that vision and want to be part of your team. And it inspires customers and clients to want to use what you have. So create that vision, create that picture that you're painting, and have it clear so that you don't perish, that your idea and dream doesn't falter, but that it has a clear, defined place that it wants to go. Next, you need to define how this helps others. What problem does it solve? So often we are focused on our ideas and dreams, and if you caught one of our recent episodes, I talked about when you have an idea and dream, often it turns out that it's not about you, it's about serving others. And in this case, in innovation strategy, you need to think about that up front. You need to think about, what is my product and service doing? What is my dream and idea doing to impact others? How does it solve their problem? What problem does it solve? And then beyond that, you need to ask the question as you define how it helps. How is this different from what's already out there? Now, sometimes you don't need to be different. If you go, hey, I want to start a really, really cool wine company using new technologies, well, that's awesome. Do that and learn from what's already around you. Learn from the traditions and techniques. If you go, I want to be a guitar builder, well, that's awesome. Learn from the builders and then think about how you can innovate the designs. Maybe it's a new body style for the guitar. Maybe it's a different building technique or building material, and think about that. So sometimes those dreams and ideas don't have to be world changing. Sometimes you just need to know how it's going to help your audience. As a good friend of ours says, the audience is the hero. So always remember your audience early on in this innovation of your dream chasing and idea formation process of strategy building. Think about them, because they need to be at the forefront of this process from day one. That's what will help you be successful. Number 3, you know where you're going. You know the overarching vision. You know what you want to end up with. Set up the milestones. And this is a great place for those Dreamer's Guide to Micro Experiments, because these little milestones will help you along the way. And make sure you're hitting those milestones. Set time limits to them. Make them reasonable, make them attainable, but set them out so that you can move forward. And in that, you need to then be able to measure the successes and failures of those milestones and the overarching dream and idea. Part of innovation strategies is simply being able to measure and evolve. And that leads us to the next step, which is make sure you're adapting to the lessons learned. Make sure you're learning from those milestones and goals, and you're evolving the idea. That's part of innovation, is evolution of an idea and dream. What you thought you would like may turn out not to be what's great. What you thought your audience wants turns out not to be what they want. Evolve it to make it so that it serves those needs and reaches to them. So that's kind of like 2 steps in one: measure success and then adapt and evolve to learn from the lessons you've learned. But we'll put those together. And then next, you need to promote a culture of innovation, ideas, and dreams, both within your team and inside yourself, but also inside of your audience, your customer. Make sure that they have a voice at the table. You're building this for them. And while it feeds something internally on you, a passion, a dream, a purpose, it in the end is serving their needs. So if you're not delivering on what they want, then you're not going to help them. So get their voice into the mix. I think it's so important that you do this, because if you're open to their stories, if you're open to the ideas of others, it will make you stronger. It will make your product stronger. It will make your services stronger. And that openness to hear and see those ideas and dreams of others will sharpen you. It will challenge you. It will literally force you to be innovative in what you're creating. And the final step, which is so incredibly important in the steps of innovation strategy, is stay human focused. Focus on you and how you're doing. Be aware of how your team is doing. And most importantly, understand how your audience feels about what's going on. This will be so powerful in this process of innovation strategy. All right, so pen and paper time. What you need to do is start writing these things down. Start writing these different steps to do, and then get into a relationship to hold you accountable to keep on your path, your innovation strategy. Each innovation strategy will be unique. Each innovation strategy will take on the culture of its team and company and founder. And so know the players that are a part of this story to create that culture. Cultivate this culture so that you can have an innovative culture within your team, and then build the strategies that are right for you, that are right for your team, that are right for your product or idea or dream, because that will dictate it too, and ultimately for your audience, your customers, your clients. And that's how you start putting your innovation strategy together. There's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of experimentation in this. But in the process, you do need to have a clear vision and a clear innovation strategy to move forward. It will help you go from a place of wandering in the desert, as the old adage goes, and having a clear roadmap, a map to take you from where you are to where you want to go. So that's my challenge today. Start crafting your innovation strategy. Start crafting the elements that are going to make it successful for you and for your team. If you're not evolving, if you're not innovating, your company will grow stagnant. Your idea and dream will eventually disappear. And so you must create this strategy, this innovation strategy to move forward. In a moment, we'll be back to wrap up today's episode. Idea camps are coming to Jumblethink, and we want you to be a part of our first ever idea camps. Early registration ends in a couple days. Here's what you need to do. Head on over to jumblethink.com/idea camps, and for that $1,000 off of idea camps, simply type in the code early 2019, early 2019. Idea camps. You may be wondering, what are they? Well, very simply, we help you over the course of 3 days, have a lot of fun, learn a lot, be inspired, but ultimately leave idea camps with a strategy to move forward. We've been talking about innovation strategies in today's episode, and idea camps are all about helping you create your own personalized innovation strategy for moving past a dream and idea and into the execution of that dream and idea. So head on over to jumblethink.com/idea camps to learn more. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we want you to be a part of it, so sign up there. And if you want to learn more about idea camps, have any questions, or want to schedule a time to jump on a call and we can talk about it to see if it's a good fit for you, simply email me. It comes directly to me, imagine that, at mike@jumblethink.com. That's Mike, M-I-K-E, @jumblethink.com. I'll get your email. I will personally respond. We'll jump on a call and we'll talk about idea camps to see if they can help you turn your dreams and ideas into reality. Now let's jump back into today's episode as we wrap up our conversation about innovation strategies. We are wrapping up this conversation about innovation strategies. As I mentioned earlier, there is an old saying that says, without vision, people perish. Vision is so important, and an innovation strategy is a great tool to help give you vision and ultimately clarity around turning those dreams and ideas into reality. I truly believe, and I've said this a billion times on this podcast, okay, maybe not that many times, but I've said it a bunch, that I believe you were created for something special. And inside of you, you have a yearning to do something pretty amazing. Whether it's raising a family successfully and being a good mom and dad, whether it's starting a foundation for your community, or innovating a new business or idea, being a world changer, or changing the game of politics and bringing ethics and morals back into it, whatever your dream and idea is, I know it's there. I know that you have it and that you feel like you are just trying to reach it. And it's often scary. It's often overwhelming to try to go down that journey. I want to encourage you. An innovation strategy is a great place to start. Put those thoughts, put those ideas down to paper, put a strategy behind it, and begin taking steps. Your dream and idea may have a couple false starts where you try something, it fails, and you have to go back to the drawing board. It may flourish and succeed from day one. But I encourage you, wherever you are in this step, this journey of chasing those dreams and ideas, keep on going. And if you fail, get back up. It's like that old riding a bike, get up and get back on the bike and keep on going. Ideas and dreams, they take so much more than ourselves. They take the people around us. They take an amount of just stubbornness to keep on going even when it gets hard. And I want to encourage you to keep on going on that journey. If you've not taken the step to chase your dreams and ideas, maybe today's a good day to start thinking about it. Take 15 minutes or an hour to sit down and just go, you know what? I've been thinking about this for way too long. I've been dreaming about this for way too long. It's time for me to step into this and make it a reality. It's never too late to start chasing those dreams and ideas. It's never too late to find your created purpose and step into it. Whether you're 10, and there are entrepreneurs out there that are 10, or whether you're 99 and you only have a year left of life, you can still do amazing things to impact the world around you. It's never too late. Take the steps, take the risk, take the journey to do something incredible, something that changes the world around you, something that impacts those that you love, impacts those who need help, and create that dream, create the destiny you were born to live. I want to encourage you, if you need help in that journey, don't do it alone. I would love to chat with you. My email, mike@jumblethink.com, or you can go to jumblethink.com/contact us. Drop me a note. I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear what's going on. I'd love to be part of your story and help you along to make those dreams and ideas a reality. No matter if it's me or somebody else helping you on that journey, I encourage you, keep on going. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be awesome. Until next time, go chase dreams, go chase those ideas you have, and change the world around you.
Et les jambes légèrement espacées. Étirez-vous doucement, mais complètement. En avant, en arrière, sur les côtés. Vous êtes une autre personne. Les mères de famille, les enfants, peuvent également prendre un moment revitalisant. Dans quelques mois, lorsque vous aurez bien saisi la technique et que vous serez maître de votre corps, vous pourrez vous décontracter même en travaillant.